Well, hello everyone. It's Monday, the 9th of June. Cheers, people. How was your weekend? I had a quiet weekend. It was nice but quiet. Nothing really unusual happened. Glad to still be here. Thank you for the folks who did send order some music on Friday. I do realize that people respond when it's official, and last Friday wasn't a Bandcamp Friday, so there was only a few folks who bought anything. But thank you. Somebody even bought my album Murphy digitally. It's been sold out forever. That's kind of nice when you see that people are going back and discovering your back catalog, what you've done. That's cool. And somebody else bought one track. They bought the track "The Deal," which is from a soundtrack that I did for the film Flyover Country. That's interesting, but it's a sale. So cheers and thank you. I'm just going to be watching the news to see how it develops, because we have a madman in the White House. And he needs to be gone. He needs to be gone. So, well, frankly, this is it. This is it. So the new Stereolab came out. First album in something like 15 years. When it came out a couple weeks ago, Omaha got it in, but it sold out. I mean, like immediately, which really surprised me. I went down on a Sunday, I think, to grab a copy, and it was sold out. So this last weekend, Saturday to be exact, when Homer's posted that they'd got in more copies of the Stereolab, I thought to myself, I really like Stereolab. I'm going to go get it, because I missed it the other time, thinking, oh, it'll be there. So I bought the new Stereolab album, Instant Holograms on Metal Film. Big thumbs up on this. Love this band. Seen them twice. Met Letitia. I always like to meet the musicians very much. So when I met her, I had a conversation about Faust and Noy and their influence on the band. So I really got to hang out with her. Love those gatefolds. So they're not doing anything new. It's just a welcome return to have them do another record. I happened to get lucky, and they were able to get a few more of the limited edition versions in, because I've seen the black vinyl version posted already, and there's another color variant version that I've seen posted already in music groups. I love this. It's like a comfortable place. It's like a place that you go to. The music is very warm. It's just a really warm, friendly sound that I love. And some of the words come through, but mostly they just are part of the total image of the music. I've listened to the whole album a couple times and really like it. Do they do anything new on there? Yeah, they do some variations on their sound and rhythms. but it's Stereolab. And I love Stereolab, and I listened to one of their older albums for my night listen, but I left it in the other room. I have a Stereolab section. Their records don't all sound the same. They sound the same in that it's the same warm approach to music. But they have some good songs. Dots and Loops is my favorite. Dots and Loops is my favorite. So, of course, I'm at the record store. I did not go to Grapefruit. But interestingly, Grapefruit's big used dump this weekend was punk. And someone let loose of their No Effects collection. There was like over a dozen No Effects records in their update, which I have no interest in. I just, they recorded at my house. So but I don't listen to No Effects. But of course, I looked to see what else might be there at Homer's, and I did pick up a couple more used titles. Oh, and there was a surprise there. There was a surprise. I remembered to ask about Gentle Giant because they just released the Steven Wilson remix of the live album. They didn't have it in, but they had this. It's probably been there. And I just didn't know. So when he told me that, well, we have something, I was chuffed because I've been wanting this. The Steven Wilson remix of The Missing Piece on green vinyl. Very happy to get this. This is absolutely my least favorite, but I love that green. This is my least favorite Gentle Giant album. But it's a pretty green. There's a bonus track on here. Another take of the track Winning. And this album needed to be remixed. I remember remarking almost right away, great disappointment actually, when the record came out. The material and the way it was recorded. It was recorded at in Holland at a particular studio where it was too icy. It's cold. So Steven Wilson brings out the warmth. You also hear how the bass probably, in my opinion, could have been recorded better, because there's times in the remix where the bass is almost like, oh, wait a minute now, but that's what really went down. That's the true sound of the bass, and he lets you hear it. So I was real happy to find that, and I got two more in the U section. As I've said, I enjoy color vinyl. So this was in the U section. Gladiators, the Nighthawk EP from 1983. It's a record store day, Black Friday item that I don't follow the record store day. I'm not an enthusiast. I've said that. But when things come out that I'm interested in and I'm able to get them, I get them. So I didn't know about this, but it was in the U section. And look at that lovely. That is lovely. I have a personal connection to this band, the Gladiators. Albert Griffiths and the Gladiators were the first band from Jamaica that plays reggae to play a reggae concert in Omaha. I forget the year. Probably not too far from this time, sometime in the 80s or 90s. I don't remember. But the promoter is a friend of mine, and I've told the story before, but one of the backup singers for the Gladiators when they came was Melvin Reed, Mellow Man, who also recorded with the Ethiopians. And he met a woman here and stayed and got married. We ended up becoming friends, and I ended up in a band with Mellow Man. Righteous Vibration. He painted my house. My house is overdue for siding or a new paint job. I'd like to get siding, but he's the one that painted my house. I'm a member of the Gladiators. So that was a real fun find. And one more. Anymore, when I find a record, used album for $5.99, it's comparable to when you'd find a record for $1. That's how it feels, because the prices are just going up. They're not going back down. So this is a nostalgia buy, and I'm real glad I bought it. Played the whole thing, brought back great memories, although I just still love the music. But Winwood, picked this up in really good shape for $5.99, and the deal behind this is that this is an early album in my record collection. I have to look up when this came out. I didn't buy this. I came across this as a promo. So I got this right when it came out from either a radio station. I still remember my feelings about this, and I played it to death. I don't have it anymore because I literally played it. I wore it out. So I got this in 1971 when it came out. And I've always been a fan of Steve Winwood. It didn't matter to me that he doesn't try to, but there's a similarity in his voice to Ray Charles. That was never the ticket to me. It was the whole picture. I wasn't. No, I'm lying. When I heard Spencer Davis as a kid and heard the White Boys singing pretty good, I noticed. But that wasn't the draw. It was the whole picture. So this starts with his "Keep on Running" and give me some lovin', but then it goes side 2 into Traffic, early Traffic, into Traffic. I love Traffic. So I was so pleased to see this so cheap, and it's like, I'll get that. That's like, this has been missing from my collection for who knows how long. It's one of the first. It's one of the albums that was part of my original album collection as a teen, 1971. I probably got it before it was even put out in the racks. Another possibility of how I got it was Liberty Records United Artists had a facility here in Omaha for a short time, and I lived right a block away from it. And every now and then I would get lucky, and there would be records in their garbage bin in behind the building. So I checked on a regular basis. It might have been from one of those. I still have some of those records. So cheers, people. Flipping through records, talking to other record buyers in the store, which I again did. This time it was about the Ramones, along with Mark Manor. It's fun. It's a good social outing too. Boy, coffee is so good. So more additions to the collection, like I don't need, but it hardly matters. Hardly matters. Family, I see where Adrian's in Arizona for a wedding. I just love. They're looking so good. My Adrian and her husband, they look healthy. I'm happy that they're enjoying life. So I'll keep going because I played some records besides working on this new piece, which will fold into my upcoming gig this Saturday, the improvised gig that I have coming up. I'm messing with my singing bowl. I'm experimenting with it. So I pulled some records. This is the first thing I played, not yesterday, but a few days ago. I'm pretty sure this is from Brazil. It was sent to me. Quarteto Em Cy, MPB4 and Quarteto Em Cy. My understanding is that the Quarteto Em Cy is a vocal group, and the other guys are the players. Excuse me. This is almost like the Swingle Singers. Really enjoyable, kind of jazzy. It was just nice for a change as far as my listening. I listened to the whole thing. Quarteto Em Cy. And then I pulled some records thinking I might. Well, I did find something I am going to trade. It's time for this to go. There are some things from my 80s that are still relics, and 80s and 90s that are kind of like relics. And it's like, for the longest time, it was like, yeah, I kept it. But I listened to this week, and it's like, this goes. 100 Flowers. It has dated poorly. Angsty. This is an angsty kind of sound. But it's like, that can go. This was one where I thought maybe this could go, but no, this is wonderful. David Onderdonk, Close Call. It's on this Quaver Records label, which was I associate with the New Age deal in the 80s. But everything I found on this label, which is not very much, I really like. And this is is it all his? There's one written by Fred Simon on here, which doesn't surprise me. Fred Simon was also on this label. This is very comfortable, but melodically full. It's not wallpaper. This is very nice. David Onderdonk. So that's a keeper. And then I was happy to find. I thought I had sold this. This is one where I bought it because I happened to see the band live. They were opening for I forget who, but really impressed me, and was happy to find that the sound is on the record. And I'm glad. Thought I sold it. I didn't. I'm glad I kept it. Headlights. Kill Them With Kindness. Indie, that indie rock sound, guitars and stuff, and the woman that sings, I just like her voice, but I would be hard pressed to compare them to somebody else, but they were on the poly vinyl label. I love the color scheme is my colors. I love that orange. If you know the polyvinyl label, that might give you an indication. I can't think of any other artists to mention, but it's from that. I'm trying to. Is this 2000? See, yeah. My time clock is just funky. Glad I kept this. Nothing earth-shaking, but good. Headlights. And again, my favorite color scheme. And every now and then I go and fish into my 12-inch singles because it's time to play them. So I'll show some, but a quick aside. Not a quick aside, but let me just keep going off the top of my head. So another musician that you may not have heard of passed away last week. Ariel Kalma. I downloaded a documentary about him to watch this weekend, but I haven't watched it yet. Osmos by Ariel Kalma. This is a reissue. Interesting fella. I get the impression that there's a spiritual aspect to his whole deal. But the music is varied. It's not all the same. Some of it is kind of ambient, some of it is very active. And he played a variety of instruments, but he just passed away. Rest in peace. I have his other album, Ariel, on CD Burn. Good stuff. Yeah, it sounds like the cover. It does. And then another quick aside, if you happen to see this Leonardo, I played this Soft Machine again this weekend, and then I posted it online in music groups on Facebook. And Leonardo posted a comment because it turns out yesterday a friend of his passed away that morning. Someone that was a fan of John Marshall, the drummer here. And before John Marshall died, Leonardo shared that he was hoping to do a project with John Marshall and this person who just died yesterday. It was kind of touching to see the comment from Leonardo. I sent him my condolences for the loss of his friend. But then he freaking thanks me for posting a picture of the record. It blows me away. That's a good album. It's a broadcast recording. It's not a board recording. It's a decent recording, but the performance is good. Yeah. Some other 12 inches that I played in and out of here. Don't know anything about this. I just picked it up. Cream Eclipse 01, the Omni Incentive from the Cream organization. Anybody know anything about this? 12-inch single. Electronic, but not club. That's why I still have, I do have some techno and house singles. Not very many. But this one is not techno. It's kind of electro. It was good. I enjoyed that. Here's one where this is very... It sounds like this picture. It's all degraded and fuzzy, and like the tape has been recorded over 1 million times. I think this is Charles Berlitz, Pacific City Sound Visions, A Coconut to the Stars. It's very obscure. Someone sent this to me, and it's almost like it's similar to Merzbow, except it's more grindy and not so much noisy. It's like, it's these sounds that you almost can identify, but like I say, it's like they're being tuned in on a radio, or like a shortwave radio with all this other noise, but not just noise. It's like you're trying to hear, what's this other stuff? I ended up listening to both sides of this and really enjoyed it. I'm still not exactly sure what the title is. I have to look this up. I'm sure I have it in my Discogs. That was fun. Here's 2 of my techno singles. This is from a series put out by Echocord. Echocord. And someone sent me an Echocord. Either this one, I have a few Echocords. It might be this one. And these are what I would call floor bangers. They're very minimal. They pound away. The groove is intense. I mean, it's the idea is to make you dance, and so it's very good, very strong that way. But it's real static. It's not like real listenable. This, on the other hand, is like that, but much more listenable. Platypus. It's the Platypus label. And Innate. Innate is the artist. I enjoyed this. It just pounds away, but it mutates. It mutates in a nice way. So there's some music for you people on a Monday. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna shout out one of you. Chad, thank you. Chad bought another CD, but not that long ago, Chad showed me in one of the music groups his Dereck collection. I was like, oh my goodness, he's been with me for a while. And Chad, you have some rare items by me on CD. So thank you for your support and the other folks that bought, including the fella from England. Thank you. It makes a difference. It really does. I do understand that most people do things legit. Like when it's a legit, then people respond. Last Friday wasn't, so I wasn't surprised at the small response. But thank you for responding at all. It makes a difference. Let's make it a good week. Oh, I'll go one more thing because I was thinking, yeah, let me talk about this. I bet, like me, many of you have items in your collection that are curiosities, and we just kind of forget about them. So I pulled this from when I went to South by Southwest for the first time. I played at the South by Southwest music, whatever you would call it, twice. Quite an experience. I'm glad I got to experience it before it completely, really got bad there for a while. I don't know if it's on the revive, but people started dying and stuff on the streets down there. But anyway, my first trip there was in 2008 with Sun Ambulance. And this is one of the items that I was able to pick up at one of the showcases. Because, it's a showcase for music from all over the world. And this was the Eastworks Entertainment label. They had a showcase. I forget where it was at. But I went because it was Japanese artists. And I didn't know any of them, but because of my interest in Yellow Magic Orchestra, I was intrigued to see, well, who's here from Japan? Turns out that I didn't know to recognize him, but Otomo Yoshihide was there, but I didn't know what he looked like, so I missed meeting him. But I got this sampler, and I also saw the band Quarteto Em Cy. I was thinking they were going to blow up. They were really futuristic in what they did. I met them and hung out with them because they kind of blew me away, but nothing happened. Kazumi Watanabe, I don't know if he was there. Chi Ayado, but this is one of the. I picked up a bunch of stuff like this. Daisuke Fujiwara, he was the main guy with Quarteto Em Cy, and I hung out with him after their set because I was really into them. Electronics with the saxophone. But it's kind of interesting, I'm sure many of you folks have stuff like this, curiosities, things that are like, like I said, I got that South by Southwest. I have other items like that. So let me get my day going here. Let's have a good week, people. Let's be well. Take care.